Quest presents an unabridged recording of The Crossbow Stalker by Tony Bassett, narrated by Colin Mace. Chapter 1. George Roscoe saw the Bowie knife glinting in the sunlight as he stepped off the bus. He gazed across the car park at a curly-haired man sitting behind the wheel of an ex-US Army jeep polishing the blade. Beside him was a man with a ponytail, laughing and drinking from a can of lager. Both men had jet-black hair and olive skin and were in their late 20s. They could have been brothers, relaxing in the fine April weather. George needed to walk past them in order to reach the high street, but as he approached he realised the two men were focused on a bearded stranger in a blue shirt and jeans who was strolling towards them. "Here he comes now," the first man muttered as his eyes lit up. The peace of the afternoon was suddenly shattered as the two men screamed insults at their victim. The newcomer tried to run, but the pair were too quick as they chased him around the cars. The ponytailed man, who resembled a burly nightclub doorman, grabbed his shoulder and began punching him. George was shocked by the men's show of violence. He and two male shoppers tried to wade in and pull them apart, but they were too late to stop the curly-haired knifeman lunging at his victim, yelling, "That's a warning." George, lacking in confidence despite his 6 feet in height, held back for a moment, but finally, out of concern, he forced himself forward and squared up to the knife man. "Leave him alone," he demanded. "Don't give me no trouble," the man retorted, running towards the jeep. "I know where you live, and I'll come and sort you out." By then a crowd had gathered, and the thugs drove off. George was worried about the victim on the ground, writhing from a wound to the left arm. "Are you all right?" Blood was seeping through his shirt. "The bastard stabbed me." A woman who ran a cafe on the other side of the car park pushed her way through the crowd of onlookers. "Someone call an ambulance. Come on, love, let's get this wound cleaned up." George followed as they weaved their way among the cars. "What was all that about?" he asked, peering anxiously into the man's face. "I don't know. I must have done something to upset them," gasped the victim, who was slim, aged about 30 and with short brown hair. Once he was assured the injury looked like a minor slash wound, George tapped him on the back. "I'm going to see if those men are still around. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with mindless thuggery like that." He sprinted down a cobbled alley leading to Queensbridge High Street, where he gazed around in vain for several minutes, uncertain where the men might be, or even if they were still around. He turned right along a route which would lead him past the only major supermarket and the police station. He tried to imagine how his father Gavin, a detective chief inspector, would have reacted. At the age of 23, he'd single-handedly tackled an affray in Birmingham before backup arrived. George would reach...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?